Hi there! I'm Sprinkles, Santa Claus's special... Hi there! I'm Sprinkles, Santa Claus's special elf. Because everything is special with sprinkles. Santa Claus knows you're special too, and he has something to say to you. So listen close as Santa Claus shares holiday cheer with you. You can leave a special message for Santa Claus and get on the nice list at www.santaclaussays.net. Now here is the big man himself, Santa Claus!
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas to all the boys and girls of the world. Santa Claus says, be good for goodness sakes, because Christmas is coming very soon now, just a week or so away. Are you getting ready for Christmas? Do you have presents ready for others that you're giving presents to them? Are you making your list? Are you singing Christmas songs? Are you drawing pictures about Christmas? Are you having fun? Are you finishing up school well? Or if you're on vacation from school, are you helping out around the house? Do all those things to stay on the nice list, because that's what you'd want to do. Because Santa Claus says to be good for goodness sakes. Here at Santa Claus Says, we like to do three things as we get ready for Christmas. We'd like to have some Christmas cheer, and we do that with some wonderful Christmas jokes. And then we also like to tell a story about Santa Claus and about the elves. And we have a wonderful story today. And then we have a opportunity to hear a letter to Santa or a text message. And we do that all here at our website, which is SantaClausSays.net. And that's where you can always leave me a message, and a voicemail or an email or even a text message. Well, there is our Glockenspiel, boys and girls, which means it's time for Santa Claus's joke of the day. And here we go. A couple of jokes here. What name does Santa use to check into hotels when he's incognito on beach vacations? Sandy Claus, when he goes to the beach. What kind of weather is Santa's favorite? Sweater weather, of course. Well, we have fun here at Santa Claus Says, and I hope you have fun too. If you've got a joke for me, you could send that about Christmas or about elves or about reindeer or something like that. Why don't you send it in to me, and I would love to have it. Send it in to SantaClausSays.net. There is the Glockenspiel, boys and girls, which means it's now story time. And here at story time, we've been telling the story about the elf who found Christmas. And I want you to know you can always go back to our story time and find more of the stories from the past and look forward to the next part of these stories as we go along. And we're talking about here the elf Merrythought, who is having some adventures around Christmas time, among the elf who found Christmas. Here we go. Let's continue the story we've been talking about for some time. Merrythought's face grew very bright. Just a minute, said he. He opened the door and looked out. He listened and listened and listened, just as he thought. He did hear Santa Claus' sleigh bells, faint and clear. Wait, wait, wait for me, he shouted out into the snow, and there came an answering tinkle that told him Santa Claus had heard. Then he turned back into the room. Think just as fast as you can, said Merrythought to the 7 astonished children standing before him in a row. Think just as fast as you can, and then tell me what toy you would like most of all for Christmas. Why, it didn't take them 2 minutes to think. They began the answer before Merrythought had finished speaking to them. A sled, a pair of skates, said Danny and Bill, holding tight to one another and giggling as they spoke. A jack-in-the-box, said Tom, all freckles and smiles. A doll, a sleepy doll, said Anne Mary, twitching her pigtails in place. A jumping jack, said Matilda, taking her thumb out of her mouth and putting it back in again. Polly hid her face in Belinda's skirt, so Belinda answered for her. She wants a woolly lamb on wheels, said Belinda. I know that is what she wants most of all. And what do you want? Asked Mary Thought. Everyone has told me but you. Belinda's eyes grew bright. I want a sewing box, said Belinda, a sewing box with a lock and a key so that the children can never touch what is inside. Mary Thought nodded. He could go straight to work at once. He started toward the door, then suddenly he turned back. You mustn't look, exclaimed Mary Thought. He had remembered how dreadful it would be if anyone peeped out of the window and caught even a glimpse of Santa Claus and his sleigh. You mustn't look, you know. Promise me that no one will look back, that none of you will look. We will hide our eyes, said Belinda. Come, children, let's hide our eyes in the side of the bed. So down by the side of the bed with the 7 children all in a row, their blankets and bits of shawls huddled round their shoulders, and their pink toes and heels showing out in the most comical way. They didn't know what it was all about, to be sure, but it was Christmassy and fun and exciting, and they liked it. Every one. Ho 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 ho! What a wonderful story. We're gonna pause the story there and continue the story on our next episode here of Santa Claus Says. Well, there is the glockenspiel, boys and girls, which means it's time for our letter to Santa. And our letter to Santa is from Jaden, who says that he would like action figures and a dirt bike and other stuff. And I want you to make it snow here, please. Can you try your best? And thank you, Santa. Well, Santa Claus has great power and many things, but I cannot control the weather. So whether it snows or whether it doesn't where you live, Santa will still be there. I will be there, and you need to be ready for me with your cocoa and cookies. That's what you need to do for Santa Claus. But I also want to say to Jade and all the boys and girls of the world that action, you want action figures and things like that, but I want to encourage you to take action in your life and to do some good stuff for other people. Do a good deed for someone else. Don't just depend on an action toy to have fun with. Have fun doing a good deed for someone else. And always know that Santa is full of surprises for people just like you, Jaden, and all the other boys and girls of the world. I look forward to seeing you real soon. Now remember, boys and girls, you can always send your letters and your notes to Santa Claus at santaclaussays.net. That is where you can send me a voicemail or an email or a text message, and I will get those and return those to you. And some of you may even have your letter read right here on santaclaussays.net, where we appear on a podcast at santaclaussays.net and on Apple Podcast and Spotify. And then you can also hear us every night during the Christmas season, between now and Christmas with our live show at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time at youtube.com/Santa Claus Says. Well, there's the glockenspiel, boys and girls, which means it's just about time to say goodbye on this episode of Santa Claus Says. We did want you to know that we have a couple of special episodes coming up that you want to pay attention to. On Christmas Eve, December 24th, we always read The Night Before Christmas. You know the story, The Night Before Christmas and all through the house. So we'll read that story on Christmas Eve, so please join me then on Christmas Eve. And then on Christmas Day, December 25th, Santa Claus has a very special reading from the Bible of the story of the first Christmas about the birth of Jesus the Christ. This is the most important part of the whole Christmas story. Of course, for Christmas is all about a great big birthday party for the birthday of Jesus, who changed everything for everybody. And we'll read that story from the Bible on Christmas Day. We love to be with you and share this Christmas season. Well, boys and girls, there's the glockenspiel, which means it's just about time to say goodbye here on santaclaussays.net. Remember, we do 3 things here. We have a share Christmas cheer with a funny joke or two. We also tell a wonderful Christmas story. and then we share letters to Santa. We do all that to share this wonderful time of the Christmas season. So we hope that you will do just that. We'll see you next time, boys and girls, here at SantaClausSays.net. Until next time, as in tomorrow, remember, Santa Claus says to be good for goodness sakes.
You're special to Santa Claus, just like sprinkles. Get on Santa's nice list at SantaClausSays.net and watch Santa Claus Says live on YouTube. Tell him Sprinkles sent you.